Hope everyone's having a great day. This is Jay from J&D's Retirement Journey. Today I'm going to compare the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF VU versus JP Morgan Nasdaq Jepq. I own both. I actually purchased another 120 shares of Jepq yesterday. So that's taking our monthly dividends close to $300 a month. As you know, we're close to retirement, so we want to get the most income. Our goal is to get to $30,000 in income a year. Hopefully, we can make it there, guys. Let's dive in and see what we discover here. All this information is right off the Charles Schwab website. You could get this information from any broker. Remember, guys, if you're getting value from this type of video, please remember to hit that subscribe button and that thumbs notification. It'll really help out the channel. Let's start off with JP Morgan Nasdaq Equity Premium Income ETF, Jepq. Total assets, 11.8 billion. Inception date. It's relatively a new fund. It's been around. We're going on 2 years come May. So the fund strategy, this investment seeks current income while maintaining prospects for capital appreciation. The fund seeks to achieve this objective by creating an actively managed portfolio of equity securities comprised of significantly of those included in the fund's primary benchmark, the Nasdaq 100 index. The benchmark and through equity-linked notes, ELN, selling call options with exposure to the benchmark. It is non-diversified. And we shoot over to the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. It's a huge fund, has over $1 trillion in assets, and it's been around for about 14 years. This investment seeks to track the performance of the S&P 500 index that measures the investment return of large cap stocks. The fund employs an indexing investment approach designed to track the performance of the S&P 500 index, a widely recognized benchmark of the U.S. stock market performance that is dominated by the stock of large U.S. companies. I'll let you guys read the rest. Fees and expenses. Net expense ratio for Jepq is a lot higher. It's 0.35 compared to VU, which is 0.03. It's a big difference there. The quotes. As close of business 4/11/2024, Jepq was 54.11. It had a range of for the year 44 to about 54.5. VU closed at 476, and it had a range of 371 to about 483. The yield, here's a big difference, guys. I'm an income dividend investor, and I also like growth. So, it pays to be diversified, as they say. But since we're getting close to retirement, I'm leaning more towards income now for the next few years. The yield on Jepq is 8.94, and it pays monthly, which is great. Like I said, we're approaching $300 a month on that in dividends, which is great. VU is 1.33, and it pays quarterly. Morningstar rates VU a 5- and 4-star fund, which is great. The historic return is high, and the historic risk is average. It still doesn't have a rating on Jepq since it's only been around for about 2 years. As we look at the growth of a $10,000 investment, Jepq is doing better than VU and the S&P 500 index. As we look at the yearly performance as of 3/31/2024, the S&P 500 is doing a tiny bit better than Jepq, but for 2023, Jepq did pretty well, 36%. They did about 10 points more than the S&P 500 fund VU. As we look at the portfolio of these funds, Jepq has 99 holdings, 40% in the top 10 assets, and it's mostly in stocks and others. Others would be the call options. As we go over to VU, it has 508 holdings, and 32% are in the top 10 assets, and it's basically all in stocks. Now we go to the top 10 holdings. If you go down the list, they're basically all the same. One or two are different. So you got Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Amazon, Meta, Google, Broadcom, AMD, Netflix, and Tesla for Jepq, and that makes up 40%. And I'm not going to repeat them. They're basically all the same. As we go over to the sector weightings, you could see that Jepq, since it's a Nasdaq-related fund, it has almost 50% in technology. And you could compare it to 30% over at VU, and then you could see the breakdowns. You could go down the list yourselves there. As we go over to the market cap, they're basically giant top three, giant, large, and medium-sized companies, all both of them invest in. And it's basically all in the U.S. for both funds. I like both these funds. I own them both. It depends on your situation, which one you think it's best. A Vanguard S&P 500 fund, everyone should own an S&P 500 fund, especially if you're starting out, if you're a beginner. Depending on your situation, I want more income. So right now I'm buying more of the JP Morgan Nasdaq fund, Jepq, because it pays about 9% and it pays monthly. And it's gone up over 20%. So it's also a good fund. So like I said, you can't go wrong with any of these funds, but talk with your financial planner before you invest in any type of security. I am not a financial planner. What's right for me and my wife may not be right for you guys. So thanks again for watching, and remember to hit that subscribe button. Thanks again.